Hope everyone is well. Just going to tune into the live stream myself to see all of the messages. So just bear with me 1 minute. There we go. Okay, so we are busy tonight. We've got a lot of work to do, mainly on a video that I'm working on at the moment. It's a SCX30 build. So that one's actually for my son. We are testing the new, wherever they are, there they are, Endura plus 4.5mm axles. So going to be doing a bit of a build this evening on this SCX30 and having a chat to you guys while we do it. So as always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Say hello, let us know where you're watching from. It is always nice to hear. Just trying to find everything that I need tonight. Tools are everywhere at the moment. We're mid-school holidays. I'm doing loads of projects with my son, so everything is an absolute mess at the moment, including my desk. But we will get by all the same. Good evening, welcome if you have just tuned in. As always, do say hi, let us know where you're watching from, let us know how you found us. What projects have you got on at the moment? Always nice to know. Good evening everyone, hope you are all well. We are back with another workshop session here, doing a bit of work on an SCX30 this evening for an upcoming video. So hopefully we can get this built tonight. As always, if you enjoy this sort of content or are into RCs, do check out the channel, hit that like button, subscribe. There's all sorts on here, whether it's boats, cars and planes, we do it all. Thank you very much. What are you doing? I am working on an SCX30 tonight. If you check out my channel, we did a build on this a little while ago. We were testing all of the various components and trying to find out what exactly made a difference and what parts, what upgrades work, what aren't, what are, you know, what's a bit of a myth, and trying to figure everything really out in some good detail. Endura sent me a pair of their new axles last week, so I've got the plus 4.5mm wide axles. Not only the width is wider, but they also got a increased turning radius of 52 degrees, I think it is. So it's about 5 degrees more, nearly 6 degrees more than the old ones. So it's going to be really interesting to try those out. So what we're doing is building a second truck that is almost identical. I've got the start of it here, and we're going to be doing some back-to-back testing to really figure out if these new axles are going to be worth it, because we weren't too sure about the original ones. They had some good points and they had some not so good points, so it gave us a little bit of a surprise. I won't spoil that surprise. If you go check out the video on my channel, it goes into a huge amount of detail. and you can see the results of our testing previously, so do check that out. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. So yeah, we're working on that tonight. It's school holidays at the moment, so my son is rather keen to have this back working again, and I'm going to do my best to get this hopefully nearly wrapped up tonight if I can. We have got quite a bit of work to do, so I'm going to crack on with it. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to pop them down in the chat. Always nice to hear from you guys. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you've been up to this week. If you've got any plans for the weekend, whether it be RC or anything else, it is always nice to hear from you guys. Good evening to everyone that has just joined us. Hope you are all well and enjoying this lovely summer that we're having. The weather here in the UK has been absolutely amazing. I've just been out in the garden. We have built a track this afternoon and we have been ragging around a couple of RCs, which have been a huge amount of fun. But now it's time to get to work and try and get this project wrapped up so we can get the video done. We've got all sorts coming. I've just been checking a few tracking details. We've got some pretty cool content coming up, so as I said, if you enjoy this sort of content, hit that like button and subscribe. There is lots of content coming up soon. Reviews, builds, you name it, we've got it. Cars, boats, planes, we love it all here. Let us know what you're into, whether it's cars, boats, planes, drones. It is all good as far as I'm concerned. Right, just breaking this down, taking all the links out. We've now got to try and figure all this out. Good evening, RB. Hope you're well. Do let us know where you're watching. Where you're watching from. Most of my viewers are from the USA, it seems, but we do occasionally get some people viewing from all around the world, which is pretty cool. Right, there was some instructions for these. Let's see if it's going to give us any help at all. There we go. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. Hey mate, how's it doing? It's good. Got some new rims and tyres for my Mini Z next racing carbon fibre. Nice, sounds good. Always nice to get a little package in the post. What classes do you race at your Mini Z club? And whereabouts are you racing? Do let us know. We've got a big event coming up in October that I am putting on at the club that I run, Mini Zs and 128 modified. We tend to keep it quite simple at our club. We don't have a huge number of micro races here in the UK yet, but it is growing steadily. Hoping to get about, I think probably about 40 drivers. Sadly not in the USA, but it's Skegness. Well, there you go. Good evening from Skegness. Good evening, Skegness. Yeah, we have a event coming up in October, 128 and modified, and what was I going to say? My brain is completely gone. Yeah, we've got some pretty cool sponsors for the event. We have had Atomic very kindly donate not one but two of their chassis. It's an MRZ, I think, and I can't remember which other one it was. Some one of the Master Edition ones. They've donated two 2 chassis kits for the event, so some pretty cool prizes to be won. Good evening, Scott. Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. As always, as I said earlier, don't forget, enjoy this sort of stuff and you want to support the channel, hit that like button up the top. Doesn't cost you a penny, and likewise subscribe to the channel. Again, doesn't cost you a penny. Help support this channel, keeps the sponsors happy, and it keeps the content coming in. Really learned a lot about micro buggy updates. Thank you very much. Glad it was of help. I love doing the buggy stuff. It is probably one of my favorite aspects of the micros. I dream of having a permanent buggy track somewhere, but we are a little way off that just yet. Hopefully one day we will get there. Bear with me while I'm just trying to figure this out. 6.6. This is rather confusing. Don't quite understand these instructions. RC bangers, nice. Got the new 124 brush review the other day. Great buggy for money. Ah, interesting. Good to hear other people with the Jai-Bai-Le, apparently it's pronounced. I have the brushless one on the way as well. Should be here hopefully in the next couple of days. So we will be doing a little comparison review on that, hopefully very soon. Still hoping to get hold of one of the ZD Racings. Haven't managed to get hold of them, so it looks like that is going to have to come out of my pocket as well. It's rather pricey compared to the Jai-Bai-Le, or whatever else we're going to call them. But yeah, I will do my best to try and get hold of one of those fairly soon. Can't quite make up my mind which goes in where here, so we're just going to take a punt. Hopefully you can get this right. Find a bit of Loctite. Nice, Joker. Yes, as I say, got the brushless coming. I really didn't need it, but you guys wanted to see a review, so I ordered one up, and hopefully it should be here any day soon. We've also got a couple of other interesting ones. When I was ordering that, I couldn't help myself. So we've got a couple of other videos coming, cars coming to review, which should be good fun. Really confused about these instructions. It doesn't make total sense. It certainly doesn't to me. Oh well. There you go. Show you guys my dilemma. So the instructions, it's got on the top here 2 ball joints here with the little caps on the top, and then 2 standard ones here in a circle. Now I remember this from the first set, but I can't for the life of me remember why we have the 2 different ones. I think it might be to do with if you're using stock links, perhaps. We'll go with that. So I'm going to put these ones in. We are using stock links on this. I do prefer the stock plastic links. We've got, so this build, we've got Enduro frame or chassis, standard skid plate, standard transmission. Got the little, what do we call these? 1224 little outrunner brushless going to be using another little AM32 ESC. This is my budget brushless setup. You can watch a video on that down in my SCX30 thing. So yeah, if you want to check out more details on that, it only runs in at under $30 for the brushless setup, which is pretty cool. We're going to be running obviously the plus 4.5mm axles. We've got the standard N30 servo in this one, just so it's the same as the other truck. So we're not going to be cheating there. Other than that, not a huge amount on here. A little bit of weight in the wheels, on the front wheels. That's about it really. Let's start getting this put together. Good evening to everyone that has just tuned in. Hope you are all well. I am not sure quite what I'm doing, making a right old hash of this, but we will figure it out as we go. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. Any questions, don't hesitate, pop them down in the chat, whether it's about cars or anything else. Well, try and keep it about cars, but you know, we're open to anything. Cars, boats, planes, all that sort of stuff, all good. Right. Now these ones have to have these little rubbery grommets. I heard a few people moaning about Enduro stuff over the last few days, saying that they couldn't put bits together, stripping screws, snapping screws. Now I'm sure there are things that have issues, and Enduro certainly aren't without them. It does happen from time to time, but I have to say, with these little cars, it really is just about taking your time and attention to what is going on, making sure that you don't make any mistakes as you assemble them. Touch wood, I haven't had a single issue with any of their parts. Now, I say that the skid plates I have heard a lot of people having issues with screws snapping off. I certainly haven't had any screws snap off. A couple were a little tight, and what it came down to was not a mismanufactured skid plate, but a mismanufactured screw. If you do find while doing any of these little cars something not fitting together, it really does pay to just try and figure it out before you go snapping anything or putting too much pressure on screws and bolts and all that sort of stuff, as there's normally an explanation for something not going together. Now, I'm sure I came up with a method of doing this last time and it worked a lot easier. What that method was, I can't remember. Hang on, we're putting on plastic links, so actually we're not even going to need these rubber O-rings. I'm completely messing this up. We can get rid of those completely. Using the stock plastic links, because of their shape, you don't need these rubber O-rings. So I'm actually going to just take this one off again, and we can just quickly screw it straight in. Because of the moulded plastic links, they can manufacture them in such a way that you don't need it. You're going to need those rubber O-rings if you're using metal links though. So just re-familiarizing myself with what I'm doing. There we go. I think that can pretty much go on now. Let's pop this in. Make sure we get the phasing of the drive shafts correct when this goes back together. Nothing worse than having to redo that once it's all together. Now, if you don't know what the phasing means when you're working on the drive shafts, you need to get the universal joints in exactly the same orientation as each other, just double checking on the part that is on the most outside that it is identically lined up as the other. Okay. The question is, these going back on. Interesting. I might find that I have to put these in backwards. I don't think I do, but maybe it's easier to put these into the links before I install them on the chassis, on the axles even. Let's see. Actually saying that, we've got another review coming up that I've only just remembered it. I'm even more excited to be doing that. Yeah. There we go. That really isn't that easy. There we go. We're in there with that one. Not easy at all to get those on. We're there on one side. See if we can get this on. Take it apart a little easier. Oh, there we go. Not too far now. All good, all good. Okay, so we've got the rear axle on, now time for the front. We need to get some ball joints on there. Now I've already put the servo on there, which is a mistake. I need to get those ball joints on there first, it would seem. Oh well, never mind. Off it comes again. Okay, on to the front. Good evening to everyone that has just tuned in. Hope you're all well. We are doing a little SCX30 build tonight for a video that I have coming up where we are going to be doing a little more testing on components. If you haven't already watched the first two videos, do encourage you to go check them out. They are on the channel on the SCX30 playlist. They were a really interesting video to do, and really did answer quite a lot of questions that had me wondering. Yeah, so we are continuing that now with these new axles that have been sent by Endura. Now this is interesting, bit of a strange one here. Or was it me just being... Okay, interesting. No, that was just me being slightly... So these ball studs that come with this, they're actually a star drive. However, they do provide a star drive driver with the wheels, but they don't provide one with the axles for some reason. Luckily I have got a whole load of them, but a 0.9mm driver actually fits them as well. So yeah, that was an interesting thing I've just figured out. We will switch over to a star driver because we might as well. And as I said, these axles offer 5.7 degrees more steering angle than the 3.5s, which is pretty impressive when you actually see it. The angle of these things, I mean, that's pretty good. So I am interested to see just how much steering that is compared to the old axles. I just received a bunch of parts and was very excited. I opened up and wouldn't you know, Miss Racing sent me the wrong... Oh no. Oh, nothing worse than getting the wrong parts through. Hope you managed to get that sorted nice and quickly. I'm sure they will fix that issue for you. Do let us know what you're building. I see, was it? It wasn't Miss, it was... oh, who's that other brand? Just started to release a whole load more 30 stuff. The Little Guy Racing Parts or someone like that just released a load more 30 stuff, which is great. Gone a little bit quiet on the 30s at the moment, I feel, but certainly Endura is still plugging away with stuff. Decent. Ah, okay. Has anyone ordered the 6x6 kit from hobby details, I would be very interested to know. Obviously we did that build a little while ago, and they have now brought out the full 6x6 chassis, which looks pretty cool. I did try and get one myself, but unfortunately they weren't willing to help us out. So at the moment I've had to say no, but perhaps in time. I've actually got a few things planned for the 6x6. It's just a matter of trying to find time to get to it. Now, I've not tried any of the Mofo stuff myself. I think we do have now a UK importer for it, but it's not something that I've ever looked into a huge amount. I do want to do another 30 build. Fairly soon. I've got some ideas. Right, again, just trying to get these drive shafts phased correctly. There we go. Is that a crawler? Yes, it is indeed. Good evening. We are on the SCX30s again tonight. I am just working on a video. I'm not filming, well, I am obviously filming this, but this will essentially be in a video coming up hopefully very soon. Doing a little back-to-back testing, so I wanted to have two chassis that are near enough identical. So we're just building this up. The main difference being the new Endura Plus 4.5mm axles. That is the whole reason for doing this. While I do this, Justin, I built an FPV rig on my SCX30 Jeep body, and then I made an app so I can use my. That's cool. I haven't actually yet put the camera on these. We have actually been having a little play around the last couple of days with trying to make an FPV tank, a little micro FPV tank. So that is one thing we're trying to do with the FPV. Interested to know what FPV camera and setup you're using. I have now got some slightly better goggles which I managed to find second hand in a swap meet. So, and they've got head tracking, that's the best thing about them. I need to figure out how to get that to work with a car transmitter. But yeah, FPV on these would be wicked. I would be very keen to do that. Probably more so indoors, perhaps. I guess in the winter maybe. But yeah, I've got a camera sitting up there. Maybe I'll grab it in a second. Tiny little one. But I don't know whether it's the right one. It always seems to run hot for some reason. I do get a little bit worried about that, but I really don't know a huge amount about the FPV side of things. But it is a lot of fun. I built an FPV rig on my, and then I made an app so I can use my PC. Sounds interesting. Okay, I will show you exactly where we've got to in just 1 second. There we go. So we are axles on, chassis in, motor in. We just now need to get some shocks on here. Now, if you missed this, the start of this, we are doing this for a video on the new Endura 4.5mm Planet axles. Going to be doing some back-to-back testing, so I'm building up 2 rigs that are almost identical. This one now being for my son, so he is going to be absolutely stoked when he finds out that he's got a fully built truck. That's mostly my content. Nice. Nice. Drift cars. Interesting. I have actually, well, it was a very budget drift car that I've just got coming to do a little fun review on. I'm not expecting huge things from it, but we shall soon see. Now, I remember I had issues with this before, choosing the right ones. Oh, interesting. There are a couple of small micro FPV cars out there. I've not tried one myself. Right, now these I am going to need to put these O-rings on, annoyingly. I'm sure I came up with a method for doing this. I think I even covered it in one of my videos, but I can't remember now. So I'm going to get these built up. Nice, I'll check that out, Justin, once we've finished here tonight. Yeah, I have a little budget 1/28 scale drift car that I am going to have a little play with. We've also got some larger stuff in the post as well, so I'm looking forward to having a go with that. Hoping it might even turn up tomorrow. As you might have seen, we've been doing quite a bit of flying recently. If you follow my shorts on the channel, you will see some of the things that we get up to outside of the racing scene. Do go check those out. Now I am going to take these apart in a second and pop a little bit of grease in them. Big up to my local hobby shop, Extreme RC Hobbies. Do feel free to give them a plug. That is all good with me. Let us know where they are. Whereabouts is your local hobby shop? In the UK, they are few and far between nowadays. I did actually pop in just a couple of days ago and scored a bit of a bargain, which, if you guys are interested, I will grab it from behind me and show you. Okay, right, we're nearly there with these. Okay, just doing these fiddly little O-rings on the shocks, and then we're going to pop the top cap off and just put a little bit of grease in them. I have had in the past one of them just binding up a little bit, so it doesn't harm just putting a little extra grease in them. I'm not going to be putting oil in them. I don't know if they're made to take oil, but Canada, nice. Yeah, I mean, there's no oil as such. Well, there's a less than a drip of oil in there. I'm not too worried about the damping side of things on these trucks. They're so small, and instead of oil, I am going to put some grease in there. What we're going to use, maybe some 3000 weight. Big up the UK RC scene. Thank you very much. Yeah, indeed. Well, big up the RC scene in general, no matter where you are. It's great to have you all on the channel. And here you go. This was my little local hobby shop find a couple of days ago. I couldn't pass it up. It's used, but very little. It's a Furatech. I've forgotten the name of it now. Maybe you guys will remember it. It's a Furatech setup, titanium chassis, Furatech servo, Furatech Python ESC with a 7,500 kV motor. This thing rips. It absolutely rips. Loves a backflip. Do check out the short that I did of it backflipping. It's using the FMS FCX 24s axles, so they're completely open axles, which is pretty cool. The cage I'm super impressed with. The whole truck is actually really light. You kind of look at these things and think, oh, that cage is going to be heavy, but these cages are titanium, and they are made pretty well, to be honest. Not quite sure about it. I wish this front end was a little lower down. We might do some modifications to it in the future. I feel like making some little panels to go over some of these side areas, perhaps. Yeah, I'd like it if this front portion was a little lower down. Yes, titanium chassis. I've been eyeing these up for quite a while on the Furatech website. Not necessarily in this form, but just the titanium chassis. I thought that it would all make the truck pretty heavy, but this thing is really light actually. For such a big truck. Thinking maybe do a little wheel swap at some point. Shock oil filled. On this, the shocks, no, they are just friction shocks. They're interesting actually. I've not seen friction shocks like this. Yeah, don't know if you can see them. They've kind of got like a little, it's weird, it's like a little dog bone going up and down inside that shock. Completely friction open, no oil in there at all. I'm not even going to grease them, to be honest. I feel like it could maybe be a little softer. Maybe we'll lose one of the shocks, soften up the ride a little bit. It's quite bouncy on the old landings. O-rings on, okay, right. Louis, titanium, yep. Shock oil filled. Shock oil filled on this. If it's this you're talking about, no shock oil on that. We just need to do the shock oil on the SCX30 if that's what you're talking about, but we're going to use grease on that. Justin, one question. O-rings on the back of the main spiral gear or not? If we're talking SCX30s, normally just run one O-ring on there, just to take out a little bit of the play, and it gives it a little bit of damping as well. I forget which end it runs on. I think it is on the drive end, if I remember correctly. If you do want me to take it out to the part to look, we can do. If that would help. How's the performance upgrade support? Louis, is that on the Furatech you're talking about? Do let us know. I have dealt with the Furatech support fairly recently actually. And it was pretty good, but probably a little biased on my side of things. There you go. So worm gear, who is it? O-ring on the back side of the main, oh, main spiral gear. Main gear, are we talking in the main transmission? For those that are wondering, if it's, yeah, in the worm gears on the axles, you've just got an O-ring on the, whichever face you want to call it. I'm going to call it the drive face, the side that's got the axle on it. You've got an O-ring on that side between the worm gear and the bearing. Hello, Yeti Master. Good evening. How's it performing? Justin, 3S LiPo and Nano Komodo. Speed equals much. Justin, 3S LiPo. This truck does take a 3S LiPo, if that's what we're on about. Nano Komodo, I forget what that is. This is a Greyhound motor in here. Komodo, is that the motor or the ESC? I forget. There's so many names with that Furatech stuff, I can't keep track of them. Have you taken a look at the ZD Racing BX24? Yes, I have taken a look at it, and no, I haven't bought one yet. It is just a little bit outside of my budget at the moment. Spent quite a bit the last couple of weeks so just having to hold off on that at the moment. I've had so many people ask if I could review the ZD Racing. I've had so many people ask me, and I really want to. I've emailed them now a couple of times to try and get hold of one, and I've not had any response from them, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping that they would reach out and help us out, but no, not had anything from that. I've got the brushless Jai by Le thing coming, so I'm going to review that. I'm hoping once I've reviewed that I can try and sell both of those cars, and then hopefully I can order the ZD Racing and do a review on that, because I really would like to do that. And as I say, just so many people have asked me to do it. It would be nice to do that. So I am going to do my best and try and get that done as soon as I can. But as I say, I should have the brushless version of the Jai by Le here in the next couple of days. I think I'm going to buy a Rilalo SBK10. Let me have a little look and see. Okay, Justin, cool. Don't forget to pop those in there. Rilalo. Oh, how do you spell it? Oh, sorry, just okay, cool, interesting buggy. They're really stepping up on the buggy side of things. Again, I have made contact with Rilalo. I'm not quite too sure where I stand with reviewing their stuff at the moment. I have signed up to their stuff, but I don't know quite where I am with it. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to review some of their stuff. Yeah, they've got a couple of interesting things coming out. I really want their rally car. I'd really like to have a look at their rally car. That would be my my dream to have a go at. Can't remember which one it is. Maybe I'll drop them another email at some point soon. Right, I'm switching up. I'm going up. I've put 3,000 in there, and it is still a little on the fast side. So I'm just gonna switched over to 5,000, and I think I'm just gonna go all the way up and put 30,000 grease in these. Yeah, I'm gonna go 30,000 in there. I don't think it will have too much effect anyway, so I might wang it in there, get a nice lot of damping going. Yeah, Rilalo are really pushing it. It's quite cool to see all these new brands really challenging some of the bigger names that have been in the industry for a long time now. You know, just like this little buggy that we've been reviewing, it's pretty impressive. You compare that to the Kyosho buggy that's now been out for many years. What they've done in a very short space of time is pretty impressive. I am gonna get one of them too, and the rally car. Yeah, the a lot of people have been reviewing the larger rally car at the moment. I'm quite keen on the smaller one. What is it? It's the Ford Fiesta. The what F10 XTS F10, I think they call it. Is what I've got my eye on. I've got something else hopefully on the way as well, which hopefully we're reviewing soon in the rally scene, so stay tuned for that. Maybe the Relalo will be second up. Terminate, blimey. So many names. So many names, I can't keep track of everything. Right, I'm going to carry on doing this. Omni Terminator, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess it all depends, quite different cars. I hear that the Relalo stuff is pretty reliable and durable, which is great to hear. I don't know what the parts support is like on them. Are we seeing all the hobby shops support Relalo now? Is Relalo just online? I'm not too sure. Right, just going through these shots, making sure that they're all running smoothly, which this one isn't. I think I've got a combination of oil and grease in here now. It's just making them a little bit funny, so we'll just try and get some of that oil out and fill it back up with grease instead. Well, not fill it with grease, but get a little bit in there. Do you have SEX K10? Yes, indeed we do. We have a few of them actually. I will, once I get my fingers out of this, I will show you. So this is the K10 chassis. There's a K10. K10 body right here. There we go. We've also been working on a couple of other K10 bodies. There you go, that is the K10, stock K10. This is my little baseline testing rig. So that is that. We've also got these ones which we've been working on. So this is the white one that we did the video on a while back. Running a slightly modified K10 body. So we've been doing a little weathering on this one. I want to try and make a grille for this and finish off a little bit of detail. I also want to try and make a nice interior to try and cover up some of the radio gear in that. So that's the that's that one. And then we have also got my son's one, which the chassis is here. But yeah, we've done this one as well. So he's been giving me asking me to paint this up. So yeah, we did his little scheme here, little bit of weathering again, bit of red oxide, some real rust on there, and then we did this little bed, little ute I'm calling it. Designed this up in Fusion 360, printed it out, a little bit of plastic work on the inside of here, and yeah, and got that going. That's come out pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. Made a little body clip there, That just plugs straight onto the stock chassis. There. Those are K10s, so got a couple of them. Great little trucks. Best one of the SCX30 lineup is my view. So there we go. Right, cracking on with this. Now I'm getting confused at where I got to. It's all good. The buggy and the truck share a lot of parts. Okay, but the buggy's got all the nicer upgrades. You can use the arm shaft tires from the truck to make super SPK turn. No, that's interesting. Pretty reasonably priced as well. Have a look here. Okay, another one done. It's the same owner. Thank you, it's the same. Sorry, I don't understand that, Machete. ZB, okay. ZB hobby. Just having a quick look. Okay. WeChat to WhatsApp. Ah, cool. It's the same own. What did you? Same own. Okay. Said the hobby@com. Let me see who I sent my original email to. I will forward it to them. If not, to mobile, or you can even send them. Send them a fax. Okay. Yes. Okay, I will shoot them an email. I'll shoot them an email or forward them what I sent on the other one and see if we get anywhere with that. I don't have a fax machine any longer. I don't even have access to a fax machine. That would be quite. I don't know how do you even go about that these days? Does anyone have one? You can't, surely you don't just have a fax machine any longer. I don't know. Right, I'm sorry, I'm doing my admin while doing a live stream. That's probably frowned upon, but for you guys, because it's content related, I think we can get away with it. Here we go. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to send it to ZD Racing. We'll see if we get anywhere. Here we go. There we go. We have sent PC emails. Right, well, I've sent them an email. We'll see if it gets anywhere. If it doesn't get anywhere, maybe I'll try a fax. PCE, okay, I didn't know that. I might have to do that. I love the idea of someone getting a fax. Right, last shock of this build. That sound of a fax machine will, I think, be permanently etched in people our age's brains. Don't think you can get that sound of a fax machine and the sound of what was it called when you had the internet, the old internet? Whatever sound it is. I think that's etched in most of our brains. The only issue you may run into with that level 24 buggy tyres, they're knobbies. Yeah, well, that is the only real letdown with those buggies, like you say, is tyres. It's kind of a shame that they went with something so different to all of the other 24 scale buggies. You know, they've kind of invented their own size. Yeah, tricky. Yeah, dial up. That's what I meant. That was in my meant. Dial up. Yeah, the sound of dial up. Yeah, that was it. And you couldn't use the phone at the same time as the internet, could you? God, those were the days. Those were the days. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The type. Pichetti, yes, I sent an email to who I'll tell you. Sent emails. I sent email to the ZD Racing website and the one that you have just put me in touch with, the Urine RC, something like that. So yeah, I have fingers crossed. Otherwise, hopefully, say what if I can sell those other two cars, then hopefully I can put the funds to getting the ZD Racing. Make sure, yeah, the tyres, wheels and tyres. Why did they go for something that was so much larger than anything else? Such a shame. Kind of killed it for me. Not being able to have any tyre options. Those stock tyres. It'd be interesting to try the ZD Racing. They look like they've got a bit more meat on them than the Jai by Le. they're just such low profile, and there's just no foam in there. They're just absolutely rock solid, which is the only real letdown on that car. So yeah, the ZD Racing looks a lot better tyre wise. Be interested to try them. Make sure to try out both. Yeah, I've got the dial-up modem sounding great into my brain. I've also got Endura Green Viper motor for my S630. I think you get a reasonable size of your channel now to receive test samples. Yeah, I mean, a lot of companies have been very good. Obviously, Endura have been super kind and helpful. Yeah, they blow me away. They're fantastic company to work for and do all this stuff for, and very easygoing, and Hobby Plus have been absolutely fantastic. They have also helped me out massively. New video coming fairly soon, hasn't arrived yet, but new video coming out. There will be a new video on that soon. So yeah, Hobby Plus have been absolutely fantastic. There is a few changes happening at Hobby Plus, which I've just been informed of. Fingers crossed the relationship stays there with them and we can continue to bring stuff onto the channel from them, but yeah, fingers crossed. Other than that, who else? Can't think off the top of my head who's been supporting the channel, but there have been a lot of companies, which has been absolutely fantastic. And we're coming up to 4,000 subscribers. We're under 50 subscribers away from our 4,000 target. So don't forget, if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to get to 4,000 subscribers in the next week or so. So please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and don't forget that like button as well. It really does help out the channel. Hello from Russia. Good evening, if it's evening there. How's life? Life is good at the moment. We're having a fantastic summer over here in the UK. You can tell me, but I won't understand anything. Well, thumbs up to Russia. Good evening. Hobby Plus have some decent cars. They do, and they have some really interesting stuff coming up. I have got my eye on their rally car. Again, 10 scale rally car. I'm a bit late to the game in the rally cars, but I have been looking at them for a long time, and yeah, they do have a new rally release coming up. I believe I've been told sort of September time, so fingers crossed we can get that. That is not what we've got coming this week. There's something else that's coming this week. That will be released. I think the release date on that is the 31st of August, so got to get a video done on that. Fairly sharpish, but yeah. Another thing you could try is working closer together with Banggood about the product interest. Yeah, I have tried Banggood. Unfortunately, the channel is too small. They don't want to know about me. I'm a little guy, and yeah, I have tried them. Unfortunately, we need to be a lot larger before they will get involved. As I say, I have spoken to Rolalo. They showed good potential, and then it's kind of gone quiet, so I'm not quite sure what is going on with that. I will follow them up and just find out where we are with that. Also been trying FMS, not got anywhere with them. But yeah, I mean, it's all good. To be honest, the amount of content that I've got that I want to do is actually far beyond my abilities. I've got so many videos that I would like to do, and that I just don't have time. Time is, as always, my major issue, trying to get to all of these things. haven't heard those stories about Relialo blocking people. I have seen recently that a couple of people have had issues with stuff, so that is interesting. If that is the case, then they'll probably block me too, because I do like to tell the truth, and I don't like to hide anything, but we'll see. That's the nice thing about Endura, is they're after the feedback as much as the content, so I can be completely honest with them, tell them all the problems, and they don't get their panties in a twist. Here we go, this is going together all right. We are making progress. Just trying to get everything as close to, well, identical. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what people's thoughts are on what sort of content you guys enjoy. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of builds and reviews and stuff like that, but there's also a lot of videos that I'd like to do on still RC related, but sort of more creative, rather than doing reviews quite so much, and doing yeah, more creative stuff. Got something majorly going on wrong here. What have I done? It's alright. Panic over. I think it was a couple of creators that went a little too hard trying to make a fuss. Yeah, there was I watched a review on that new 7th scale rally car by a couple of people, and got to admit, the issue was Relialo sending them cars that weren't what they were going to be like for the public, which is a little strange. If you're going to be reviewing a car, you want to be reviewing exactly what everyone's going to be getting, not what potentially people are going to be getting. So I completely understand their frustration around that. I don't know whether there was anything more. That was the main one that I saw, other than the issues with the actual car, but that was the one that I picked up on most recently. But yeah, okay, we are getting close. We have now got the shocks in. We still don't feel fantastic. Don't quite know why. It might be that I need to strip them down and really get all of the oil out of them. We'll give them a little while just to bed in. These ones feel a lot nicer. I think it's just the fact that they have got oil left in them as well. Well, in an email, Tommy, they admitted that first. Yeah, that was it. It was Tomley that was the review that I was watching. Yeah, it didn't make sense why they were sending out cars that weren't ready for production. Slightly odd, but there you go. There you go. It's a pretty tricky one. I guess they have windows in which they are trying to get cars out, and Sometimes it can be a bit of a rush, but if you're going to do it properly and get it done right. Right. Just seeing if I can work these shocks a little bit and figure out what's going on with them. They just feel a little lumpy at the moment. Slightly strange. Okay, we are getting there. People. Time for some wheels and tyres. These are Swamp Claws, I think. We got the brass weights in the front and nothing in the rear. Let's get these back on. Going with the plastic wheel nuts. The stock plastic wheel nuts had issues with the metal ones. They tend to, well, come undone. So no, stick with the plastic ones. Don't go too tight or you will run into issues. Okay. Now I do have a few plans with some of the parts that we're going to have left over from this build. What kind of shocks are these? So these are the Endura shocks. I'm running the 26mm ones, the slightly longer ones. I haven't tried any other ones, I've got to admit. I've not tried any other ones. They feel pretty good though, for what they are. So I haven't tried any other ones, so I'm not going to try and tell you to buy these because there might be something better out there. But as far as I'm concerned, for the amount of money and everything else, these feel perfectly adequate. And they feel pretty smooth. I don't know quite why these ones are feeling a lot lumpier. I will break them down and well, maybe we'll take one off in just a second and have a look and see if we can figure it out. Let's do it now. Let's do it now before we go too far. Shocks, and incidentally, again, if you haven't watched that original video on the SCX 30 parts, it's I forget the name of the video. It's I can't remember the name of the video. I will look it up. Upgrades, do they work? If you watch that video, upgrades, do they work? It was incredibly interesting learning about the shocks and the difference that they made. I was absolutely blown away by the difference that just adding a pair of shocks could do. I had no idea. You kind of think shocks are only for buggies and such like, but turns out shocks make a big difference in a crawler. They certainly did when we did that video. Okay, right, we've broken this down. There we go. That is what we're dealing with. I'm not even gonna, I don't think it's even gonna pick up on the camera. There we go, so we've got a couple of O-rings in there. I'm going to use a little bit of green slime on those. This could have well been what I actually used in the other shocks. Let's see if that just solves our issue. Now, if you're ever putting grease on O-rings, do make sure it is the correct grease for them. Whether diff grease is the correct grease, I don't know, possibly not. I don't think that is why we're having issues though at this stage, because it's only been in there for a few minutes. Let's see if this sorts the issue out. I think they are actually feeling better already. Oh yes, that's it. That's it. It's feeling a lot better, I think. Pop this back and see what it does. Where's it gone? Here we go, so a little bit of green slime in there. Green slime is a shock grease, I think you could call it, associated. Good stuff, lasts a lifetime. Doesn't even cost a huge amount. Well worth getting it. It's definitely improved it. Definitely improved it. I'm going to say it's cured it, but it's definitely improved it. So I'm going to do the same on these. I'm sure the first time around I didn't have to do this, but it's only going to make it better. So okay, man. Thank you very much. SCX 30 FPV Adventures. There we go. Good evening to anyone that has just joined us. We are deep into this build now. Just doing a little tuning on the shocks. SCX 30 build. We are building a second truck. This is my son's truck. I'm going to surprise him in the morning with hopefully a fully built SCX 30. We're doing this for a video for Endura, testing the new Planet axles. Now, if you really want the details, these new rear axles are actually lighter, even though they're wider, they're lighter than the old +3s on the rear. Front is 3 grams heavier, so moving that weight bias further forward. Right, green slime now in those shocks. Definitely improved the damping. Not actually convinced it's the shocks. I think we're pretty good. We'll run them like that, see how they go. They're getting better the whole time, so it might just be a thing of getting that grease to start flowing and moving around them. I am going to do the same to the front though. I did improve them quite a lot. On to number 3. Now yes, I am using side cutters to try and undo these. I haven't got any pliers that are small enough to deal with these things, but I am being ever so careful. Don't try this at home. Okay. Here we go. Back together on number 3. One more to go. Right, we are making progress on this build. It is going to be onto electrics next. Hopefully that will go fairly smoothly. Saying that, I do need to rewire the servo. I think. Yes. I'm going to have to rewire the servo. I can't remember how I did those. I'm now sat at my work desk. Remember the Mears links I mentioned. I'm now looking and they are Mears Racing stainless steel links. 313mm wheelbase links for the Axiom. They're going to be a little large. Yeah, those are going to be a little on the large side. Hopefully you can get it sorted. That's all I'll say. Hopefully you can get those sorted. Right, get this back together. Let's make some progress. Well, I'm pretty sure either way they're not going to ask you to send them back. So I would contact Mears and just give them a shout. I'm sure they will hook you up. It does always get frustrating having to wait for orders though. And that is where your local hobby shop comes in. Right, so here we go. The last wheel. And onto electrics. Okay, so we are going to be electric. That doesn't make any sense. We are going to be running a brushless motor. What's it going to do? They said 4. Wow, there you go. Nice. Well, can't complain about that. We are going to be, as I say, using the 1224 4000 kV brushless motor from our don't know, from AliExpress. The motors come in at about $14, and the ESC we are going to be using is a Fox Air ESC. As I said earlier, if you want the details on setting this up and all of that sort of stuff, go back to my budget brushless video and I cover it all there, so you can find out all the details. I'm going to be copying this layout almost identically. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is first of all popping the sliders onto here. And we can actually get the radio gear into place. Welcome to anyone that has just joined us. Good evening. We are SCX30ing tonight on a new build. A build that is going to surprise my son in the morning with this new setup for him, hopefully. We are doing this as part of a video for Endura on the new plus 4.5mm Planet axles. budget 24 recently. Have I looked at any mods for it? No, not yet. And I've got to admit, I don't know if I'm going to be. Kind of wrap that one up. Other than the fact that we've got the brushless version coming. Are there any? There aren't a huge amount of mods that I would actually do to it. I think the main mod that I would do would be to replace the transmitter. I think that would probably be the first mod. Second mod would be sorting out the wheels and tyres, which unfortunately isn't terribly easy to do. There aren't really any options. If there were options for wheels and tyres, I think it would beg pardon. I think if there were options for wheels and tyres, it would make a lot more sense to try and push it a little further, but with that restriction on it, it's kind of a bit dead in the water. And you can get replacement wheels and tyres, but my feeling is that they just aren't really gonna work in the long term. I mean, they're fine for blasting around and whatnot, but if you want real performance, then unfortunately the wheels and tyres on that they come standard with are the major letdown, which is probably that, well, I don't know whether it's an easy thing to fix or not. It's a shame with all of these budget cars, there always seems to be one thing that lets them down. On the WL Toys, those electronics were rather depressingly bad, and this time it's those wheels and tyres. Now for outside and just messing around, they're absolutely fine, but if you get a little more serious about things, then you are going to want to change them out if you can find anything to fit. Right, I am just starting to work on the ESC. Now it does come all pre-wired, however we want to try and reduce the amount of wiring that we've got here, so I am just gaining access to the tabs so that I can resolder it. Fair enough, these things are fun to tinker with. Can you feel any difference between the brushed and the brushless motors besides the power? Like, does one type offer more fine control? I don't have the brushless one yet. I haven't run it yet. It is in the post. It will be here quite possibly even tomorrow, maybe Monday if not, and then we will set about testing it and seeing what the difference is, and hopefully answering a few questions. But as yet I don't know what the brushless is like. I'm imagining there's going to be a bit of cogging there at low speed. Not necessarily for this RC. Oh, I mean in general. Fair enough. These things are fun to think of. Can you feel any difference between brush? Yes, I mean 100% you can definitely feel the difference between the two. Brushless normally has a bit more punch out the bottom. Brushed can often feel very smooth. You really need to, with brushless, you've got two different types of brushless motors. Let's just talk about the racing side of things. you've got censored and you've got sensorless. Sensorless is the more budget option, and then the censored you get in more of the higher end stuff. With the sensorless, which is what you'll get in the all of these 124 scale buggies, the lowdown, they're not designed for the lowdown speed and control to be there, or not designed. That's where they cut cut it down to try and make things affordable. So yeah, when you're trying to go slowly with a budget brushless setup, you are going to struggle. The motors do what we call cogging, where it gets a bit notchy, which is where brain's gone. Yeah, which is where it gets a bit notchy, and these sensorless brushless motors struggle. If you go to a sensored setup, then you get that smooth power right the way through, and you get a lot more punch and a cleaner throttle response, and then it's just night and day difference. So brushed versus sensorless is a kind of a close call, really. You kind of either go for smoothness in a good brush setup, or a bit more punch out of the brushless setup. If you then go up to a sensorless setup, then you get a real gain, and that's where it really does make a huge difference. But you're going to be talking about a lot more money, and you're not going to see that in a one of these cars. The UDI UCX 1804, but they took the 21. Shame about that. You just got to keep an eye out for those deals and pounce on them when you can, which is what I managed to do the other day. Get hold of a few bits. Right, do some soldering. It's time. We are rattling on this live stream. It's going on, well, I'm going to say I thought it was going to go quicker, but had a lot to do, but we're making progress. Do a little bit of soldering now. Try and get this, if I can get this wrapped up tonight, so I'm very happy. So let's see what we can do. When it comes to soldering, I get a little bit OCD about it, so it does take me quite a while to get things perfect. Tell you what, let's do another 20 minutes and then it'll be gone 11:30, and probably wanting to fall asleep. Has anyone in the RC community tried to use a small drone controller for these motors, or try and use drone motors in RC cars? I'd imagine they could be interchangeable. Well, as far as the motors go, generally the KV is quite different, so that is not such an easy one. However, as far as ESCs go, this is actually a drone ESC, or an AM32 ESC, which I think primarily was developed for drones. However, with a little programming, you can get good performance out of them for crawlers. Okay. Thank you very much. Far easier to type it than to say it. Well done. desoldered this ESC. No, it's all right. I don't take that sort of stuff too seriously. Make fun of me all you like. So yeah, desoldered the ESC. Now, if this was my first time, I would be making sure I got everything back in the same place, but I've got another one exactly the same here that I'm copying, so I'm not too worried about what I'm doing. Okay, let's get this new ESC soldered up. Well, thank you for answering the question. I'm going to bed. Good night. Good evening. Good night. So what have we got to do? We've got to solder this on, and then I need to make up a few cables, which is not something that I'm particularly enjoy doing. Changing a few plugs as well, which is not what I like to do at 11:30 at night, but let's see how we go. I think I might just get this, do the soldering that I can do, and then these plugs for tomorrow. Okay, on to soldering onto the ESC. We're soldering everything as direct as possible, reducing the number of plugs and whatnot, and just cleaning things up as best we can. I apologise for that. I'm actually just filming this off of my phone. Sometimes there can be an effect of the soldering iron. Apologies about that. I am sort of in the process of trying to sort out a new computer that will mean that I can try and get some better footage for the live streams. But yeah, as I say, all of this is just done off my phone, no microphones. So yeah, apologies for that. Yeah, I mean, probably a bit of a surprise, but every single one of my videos so far has actually been filmed and edited just on my iPhone. I don't have any fancy setups, which is probably shows, to be honest, why my videos aren't as slick as they could be. But yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. One day we will have a proper setup. But I'm not a computer person, so it is. I find it hard. Put it like that. I'm not only trying to buy a new computer, but I'm also trying to learn exactly what I need and all of that sort of stuff. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. We're making progress on this. Next, I need to try and get some wires done for that. I'm just gonna grab some more wires. Okay. Now, wiring these up is a little tricky. First one goes. Right, just making sure I get this all wired correctly. Don't need this to be too long, so we'll get a little bit of this. Roughly gauging it off this other cart. Okay, alright, just doing the ESC to receiver plug, switching it out for a micro receiver plug. Forget which exactly it is. It's switched out, and I can solder that on. Then it is just a power it's just a power lead, and it's just a power lead today. Oh, and servo. Need to swap out the servo plug. Unfortunately, this is the older servo. Endura have now brought out these servos with the XH 2.54, I forget, or Mini JST, I can't remember. But they have offered, you can get those now for the micro receivers, which makes life a lot easier. I'm just putting in one of my new Mias Racing 30T motors, just hanging out. Cool, nice to, thank you for joining us. That is exactly what this is all about. Just, well, a bit of a hangout, a bit of a chat, a bit of a de-stress, like-minded people dropping in, saying hi, all that. That is, how are these you got in? No, 30 turn. That's going to be a real talky monster, isn't it? I'm assuming, by the sounds of it, you have a channel. I will do my best to check that out once we're finished here tonight. Here we go, so that wire there, that wire middle, no, okay, second, there we go, and the last one. Then we're going on to this terminal here. Is that done? Right. Now we need to get some power wires to this thing. For that, we need a tub. right old mess tonight, as always. Now I am right on with the crimps. I hate doing this. Crimps are not the most fun thing to do in the world, especially on this size. Alright, so I've got a set of crimps here, plugs and crimps. Covers quite a wide range. pH 2.0s, SH 1.0s, a whole heap of others. Now I like my plugs to be black, so I have popped a load of these into some RIT dye and dyed them black, so we've got nice fancy black plugs. Do like my power cables to be nice and flexible, so I'm going to be using some nice good quality silicone wire. Not quite sure what gauge I'm going to use. Went ahead and bought just about every gauge that's available. I think I normally use 22 maybe. It's 24 gauge. 26. We might use 24. It's only a crawler. I think it'll be fine. It'll go into the plugs that little bit easier. Was 26 I used. I'm going to go 26. 22, sorry. Right, just make up the wires. Okay, let's get this together. Okay, actually went together all right. Happy with that. On to the next one. Might even get this job done tonight. Well, everything other than the survey. I don't think I've got the patience to do that one tonight. Okay. It really does pay to have a set of decent crimp tools. There we go, that is our power lead all made up. Now get that soldered to our ESC. Making sure we get the polarities around the correct way now that we've got nice black wires. I will double check everything before I plug it in and blow things up. And then I think we are nearly there for tonight. We've done pretty well to get this built up. Without any real issues. Always nice when a build doesn't take weeks on end. I've just finished and tested. Wow, 0. Nice, sounds good. Glad it is all working. Yeah, 30 turn. That's it's going to be pretty quick. Apologies, I'm going to make a bit of noise. Just removing the old solder and replacing it with some fresh. Just to make things flow a little easier. What do you think the best 3 mod upgrades should do to a new SCX30? That's a very good question. and it's one I've been asked many a time. First off, got to be shocks, I think. Well, saying that, we're counting wheels and tyres. First off, wheels and tyres, especially the Bronco. It depends which body you have, because with the Bronco you're very much limited. I think a good place to start, wheels and tyres, and shocks, and if you can, knuckles as well. Or yeah, wheels, tyres, knuckles, and then shocks would be my top 3. If you can do, well, top 4. Just having a little bit of a struggle trying to get this power wire soldered on nicely, so I'm going to go to a slightly larger soldering tip once this is cooled down enough for me to touch it. A little larger soldering tip will just get a little bit more heat in to the part that we're trying to solder, and then that will in turn make life easy. Theoretically. Let me know what your thoughts are on parts. What would your best or top 3 parts be for an SCX30, for anyone that is watching? Drop them down in the comments, let us know what you think. I'm going wheels and tyres, knuckles, and then shocks if you allow one. If you'll allow one more. Right, there you go, that is that one done. Really does make all the difference. The right soldering tip for your job. I was struggling there with that original one, just a little bit too small. Switch up to something a little bit larger, and it makes life so much easier. That is still hot. At the start I went for the heaviest build, all brass. Yeah, heavy, as we found out, not necessarily the best route to go. I tend to go as light as I can, with most things. Light, but not too light. Right. We are nearly there. I'm sort of struggling here. It is now midnight. And I'm getting quite tired. I went wider axles, 24mm shocks, biggest hobby shop had, and big wheels. The wider axles was the interesting one, which is why I'm not quite sure how this video is going to go. Obviously that is exactly what we're testing or building this rig to test. The new plus 4.5mm axles from Endura. Yeah, how this will go, who knows. We obviously tested the 3.5s and they had their issues. Do go watch that video and see what those issues were, see the differences that they made. It makes sense to watch those before you see this video. So it'll be interesting to see whether, I don't think that these are going to solve those issues that we had before, but it'll be interesting to see whether there are any improvements sort of as far as, well, there's going to be improvements as far as the width goes, that's for sure. Whether we see much difference with other things, then that is something that we will have to find out. Okay, we are basically there now. All I need to do is to do this plug on this servo. As much as I hate doing them, I am tempted to get it done tonight. Now I don't have to think about it. Where are you, SCX30 FPV Adventures? Whereabouts in the world are you? I'd love to know. Likewise, anyone else that is watching, do say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're interested in. Tonight we are working on SCX30s. Obviously that is only one platform that we work on this channel. We've done quite a lot of work on them recently. Quick tidy up and then get my head into gear and try and get this last plug done on the servo. Now obviously Endura do these servos now with the plug after I badgered them for quite some time about giving us the offering of, I forget which plug it is, but there, yeah, look, we're going there. This was a pile of parts 144 minutes ago, which is how long we've been on this live stream, and we're looking in pretty good shape. Don't say so myself. Right, plugs. Right, we're pushing on. We're going to get this done tonight. Probably not tested. I'm not too fussed about testing it, but it would be nice to give this to my son in the morning and to go out and do a bit of driving. So let's see what we can do. I'm just trying to figure out what plug to use, which box I need to look in. It's these ones here, isn't it? These ones. This is the one. As I did before, I have pre-dyed a load of these plugs. Now normally I would take the servo apart and resolder the servo, but on these little N30 servos they make it rather hard to do that, so we're having to do the less preferred method of crimping ends. The wire is, firstly the wire is far too long, and secondly, even if it had the right plug on it, well, it's far too long. Apologies, my brain is not working now. It's switched off. That didn't make any sense at all. Firstly, the wire is too long. Secondly, the plug is wrong. Okay, let's try and get this done. And then I can go to bed. Welcome to anyone that has just tuned in. You're watching a car crash of I don't know what you call it, but my brain is completely gone. So anything could happen in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, we're going to try and get this done. And then I might be able to get the video done in the next couple of days. I'll be able to get it out to you guys. Right, let's try and not make any mistakes. The last thing that I want to do is cut this wire too short. Done that before. I want it just the right length to go into the receiver. And we're not cutting huge amounts off actually. Cutting huge amounts off. There we go. No turning back now. Right, apologies for not looking at the camera. I'll talking to you guys just a second and just trying to do these wires. They are ever so small and fiddly. There's no easy way to do this that I've learned. If there is an easy way to do this, please let me know. This is one of my worst jobs that there is to have to do on these cars. Just so small. Right. Let's start trying to crimp these on. Get this all the right way around. How I've done this in the past, I don't know. Right, we are I give you an idea of what we're working with. Can't even show you holding it because there's no way that my finger's going to show you. That is what we're working with. Does it even show up? It's even too small to show up. On the end of those tweezers is a crimp. Not even going to show up. On the end of those tweezers is a crimp. It is absolutely tiny. We're trying to crimp it with these tools because that's, well, I don't know. Maybe there is a better tool for this. Is there a micro crimp tool? It'd be amazing if there was. So I'm going to struggle my way through trying to do this. So hard. So hard. I have a number of different techniques I'm trying to do this. You have to be so careful that you don't squash the crimp in the jaws. Is a knuckle change the best way to gain steering? Don't think it will gain you. I don't know if it will gain you any steering or not, to be honest. I do have a set. We can do that for you. We've got a set here with knuckles. So this set here has got the Enduro knuckles on there. I don't think it's going to gain you any steering at all. God, is that it? Wow. There you go. That is stock. Well, that's steering with knuckles on. Go to the start of this video where I showed you the movement on the new axles. Well, maybe you do gain a little. Yeah, maybe you do gain some. I'm sure it'll say on the Enduro website if they give you a little more steering. It does appear perhaps that you gain a little steering. Probably not enough to worry about. If you're looking at wanting to get more steering, go with the Planet axles. The difference is huge. These new ones is absolutely massive. Oh, don't forget, people, if you are doing an Enduro order, there is a discount code on my homepage where you can get 5% off your Enduro order. And it helps out the channel as well. Right. You guys are being amazing at being patient. Thank you. While I do this. There we go, 1 down, 2 to go. was hoping to get done by 12 o'clock, but we have just gone past that. But we're nearly there. We are on the home straight, I hope. Okay. Just trying to get these crimps installed on the wires before I put them into the tools. Before I put it into the tool. Apologies for the noise, apparently my phone is picking it up. Okay, nearly there with number 2. Just going to go down to the next size. There we go, 2 down, 1 to go. Turns out, no, I'm not going to say it. Right, last one. And then we are nearly there. Trying my hardest, people. Trying my hardest. Last one's always going to be the hardest. Okay. Come on. Behave. Right, we are hopefully nearly there. Made a bit of a mess of that one. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so just now making sure we get all of these plugs and wires into the correct slot. signal over here. Positive in the middle. Again, apologies, I would love to show you this in more detail, but my fingers are far too fat for that. Looks like I'm off to the hobby shop. I really need those lengths. Fingers crossed they have some. You have a great night. Good evening. I hope you managed to get your issues sorted. Don't forget, people, there is the community page, community tab on YouTube now, so do feel free to post pictures of your builds on there. It's always nice to see some of those, especially when we've been talking about them, so feel free to use that. And go to the home page and then onto the community tab. You should find a place where you can post some pictures of your own stuff, and we can all enjoy those. Right, we are there. I think I'm just gonna double check everything. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we are good. Right. Oh, message. I used to think you're crazy, but now I can see you're nuts. Thank you very much. I would have to probably agree. 1 to turn. 2 to burn. Let's get this servo plugged in. And we are there. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, you can joke away with me. You don't have to feel like you're going to offend me or anything. I don't really get offended, so it's all good on this channel. Right, I think we're just about there. Just about there. Servo done. Motor done. Receiver done. I think the only thing... Oh, he wanted me to put the light unit on the front, so I'm just going to pop that over while I remember. So for those of you that have only just tuned in, this is a build for an upcoming video that I am doing. It is going to be out hopefully in the next couple of days, maybe a week. We are testing some new parts for an Endura, and I'm doing this build on my son's truck. So I'm going to surprise him in the morning, and he is going to have a fully built rig. So I'm just going to finish popping these last few bits over. Now, that's a good point. We're not actually going to be able to run the lights because I haven't wired them in. Okay, that's going to be a slight issue. Can't do that. I'm going to have to put the rear one on just to take the body. no lights. He's going to be a bit gutted about that. We'll have to do that another time. I'm too excited to go have a shower and get into bed. I'm absolutely done. It is 12:15 at night. I was, or am, quite happy. We have got this build nearly done. It means that I can carry on shooting the video over the weekend. And get some testing done, which is what I really love to do. Those screws aren't going to work in that. Hopefully there is something here that will work. These screws are just too long. What we've got kicking around. Oh dear me. Apologies for the tiredness. There we go, should work. Too short. Too long. Come on. Where are you? No, you have to go short. Well, that one is perfect now. Okay, we have one more screw to go. Hoping I can find one. Come on. So close. Yet. So far. I think I'm just going to have to try and find something else. Kicking about here. Oh, closed. Uh-oh. Well, found the screws that I need. They're now scattered inside this box. Right, well, I'm just going to get this done and then go to press. Okay. Here we go then. Tidy that up. Okay, right. Let's do that in a second. Here we go then. Last screw for tonight and this build. In it goes. I think should be alright. And there we go. We are officially done. Thank you for everyone that has stayed around and watched to the bitter end as we complete this build. Now on to some testing. Well, tomorrow. So we have got now two almost identical trucks, bar the axles. There we go. Now there is only 1.5mm difference over these two. There is plus 4.5mm on the stock axles. There you go. Looking at the stock steering versus the new axles. Just carefully see if I can get the servo to go over. No. No, I'm afraid I can't get the servo to go over at this particular second. Going to need to be powered up. Don't want to damage it. But anyway, huge amount more steering on this new build. So stay tuned. I will get this video, get the testing done, get this video up as soon as possible. And we will find out exactly if these new axles are going to be worth it. And whether they're any better than the old axles, the old 3.5mm axles. So thank you very much everyone for tuning in tonight and watching this. If you've stayed around to the bitter end, much appreciated. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It all really does mean a huge amount. We are nearly at 4,000 subscribers, just I think around 40 left to go. So that's it for tonight. Thank you very much again. Take care, have a good weekend, and I will see you next week.